Hey everybody, you are tuning in to the Canary Crime News Talk live stream, pre-stream. Congratulations, you made it. And big old congratulations to Jude over on the YouTubes. If you follow us on social media or on our mailing list, you'll know we got overnight just a bunch of strikes on all the YouTube channels. We were able to get, by the way, egregious charges by YouTube. We might talk about that later, but we were able to get the Face Like the Sun channel back up and running. So there you go, but it almost not. Could have very easily been no YouTube at all. So anyways, take this as a lesson to follow us on multiple outlets here. We're streaming all over the place. You can go to our link tree, linktr.ee/Canary Crime News Talk. Everything you need is going to be there. But yeah, other than that, happy Memorial Day, everybody. We're so thankful for all of those who gave their lives to give us this sweet, sweet country. Okay, stay hydrated. Let's get going.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Crime News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Crime News Talk. Today is May 31st, 2021. This is episode 344. And today, Lab to Jab. And Razzle Dazzle, I'm your best buddy Basil.
And this is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Welcome to the podcast, where we bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And yes, as some of the pre-streamers know, we got a bunch of strikes on the Face Like the Sun and Canary Cry Radio YouTube channel, all of it for cyberbullying. And but I was able to repeal it rather quickly. I'm surprised with how quickly YouTube accepted the appeal.
Yeah, they went to work quick on this one. It's almost like they were expecting it. Now, was it for cyberbullying? I was looking at the emails as for, glorifying violence or something.
Yeah, that's part of cyberbullying. And
okay.
Yeah, it's all part of one big reason for the
some episodes guidelines from a long time ago, too.
Yeah,
on like episode 285 or something got taken down.
Yeah, Canary Cry Radio got, in addition to 2 strikes, 2 older episodes got taken down. Mm-hmm. So if you're on YouTube looking for those episodes, they're gone. So I don't know. I don't think we can appeal those. They just decide over there to, bring down the chopper and sever.
Well, Josie over on the YouTube channel is suggesting we just full on make the switch to Commie Cry Radio as the name. We can stop getting strikes probably.
Yeah, we should try that next time.
Well, we are going to be doing an ultra short show today. We apologize for anybody who is settling in for a nice 4 hours, but it is Memorial Day, and we are working. We are bringing a little bit of a show, but we are also going to take the opportunity to get a half day off, I think.
Yeah, spend some time with family. Got plans to make some tacos with the wife. I think that's what she has planned, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, just to get into things here, first off, Joe Biden made a speech for Memorial Day. I like that on YouTube, this is The Hill YouTube channel, 271 thumbs up, 1,000 thumbs down. People don't like Joe Biden.
Yeah, well, it is The Hill. That's expected.
And, this isn't a huge deal, but he does mention fallen angels here as the fallen troops. I'll just play the clip and then I'll comment.
Every day since I was vice president, I've carried with me a card, the exact number of troops killed in our operations in Afghanistan and Iraq. Not an approximation or a rounded number, an accounting of every life laid down for our country over the 20 years of war. Today, 7,036 military members, fallen angels.
So I know he means well, and it's kind of I guess it's a common sort of phrase to use, but just given the
Fallen
context,
angels?
I don't know that the people appreciate being called fallen angels, just in general.
Yeah, right. He certainly is not aware of what that actually means. Did you have more to?
No, that's it. I just it didn't really rub me the right way when he calls
it was weird.
military members who have passed away fallen angels.
Yeah, that's not the right thing to say. But also, he brought out this card thing again.
Yeah.
You've noticed this, right? He's been using this bit. I guess it's a bit that he does all the time, like all of his other bits. He always talks about this card that he holds in his wallet. And yes, he has said it about fallen soldiers. He also did the same. I have the same card in my wallet thing about COVID people. Deaths from
he's
COVID.
He's got a Rolodex in his back pocket.
He's just got a stack of cards of just numbers of dead people in his wallet.
How does it get updated is what I want to know. Joe, there's more people dead now. Here's the new card.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yes, he gets a new card delivered every day. So again, fallen angels, weird thing to say about soldiers who have lost their lives in wars, both superfluous and meaningful. Yeah. But also, the card thing. Just stop it. Nobody believes that you have these cards. Okay. Well, we're just going to keep on moving. Yep. Going to keep the momentum going, and let's do so with a Flippy update.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
That's right, folks. The Flippy update is here. For those who are new to the show, Flippy is the colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world, and just how there's nothing we can do about it. Thank you to everyone who sent me this article today, including the great Chris White over there on Twitter. He was actually the first one that I saw, so he gets the points. Thanks, Chris.
Oh. I saw some people send it to us before that, but you're free to give Chris all the credit.
Yeah. Well, like I did respond to Chris on Twitter. I don't read our emails over the weekend, gotta disconnect. But thank you for everybody who did that. Again, I just feel so warm and fuzzy inside that, when some new robot has crawled out of the abyss to take over the world, I love.
They let you know. They let us know. They're like, did you hear this?
The sort of mailbox that those alerts go to. So thank you very much. This one, I'm going to bring this article from RT.com, and the headline is "Autonomous drones may have hunted down and attacked troops in Libya without human control." UN report. The UN report found that autonomous drones armed with explosive devices may have hunted down fleeing rebel fighters in Libya last year. If true, the report chronicles the world's first true robot on human attack. This is a historical event. Yeah. According to the report, anti-government Libyan National Army fighters under military commander Khalifa Haftar were retreating last March following an unsuccessful attack on Tripoli when they ran into a swarm of terrifying aerial opponents. They were hunted down by unmanned drones as well as lethal autonomous weapon systems, the latter of which can be programmed by controllers to seek out and attack targets and carry out these instructions even if communications with the controllers are severed. Haftar's fighters, quote, were neither trained nor motivated to defend against the effective use of this technology and usually retreated in disarray. The report continues, while in retreat, quote, they were subject to continual harassment from the killer robots. They were neither trained nor motivated to defend against the killer robots. Yikes. It is unclear whether the drones were in contact with human controllers during these reported attacks or whether they were directly responsible for any casualties or deaths. They were operating autonomously. The scenario described in the report would likely mark a horrifying milestone, the first recorded incident of truly independent robots attacking humans on the battlefield. However, the report does not specify what level of autonomy the robots were functioning under. The drones, known as loitering munitions, are quadcopter-type vehicles outfitted with cameras and carrying small explosive devices. Left in an area to operate, they identify targets and dive from the air, blowing themselves up upon impact. The devices identified in Libya were Kargu 2 loitering munitions deployed on the Libyan battlefield by Turkish forces allied with the UN-backed and Tripoli-based government of national accord. Their deployment, the UN report noted, is in violation of a 2011 UN Security Council resolution prohibiting member states from engaging in the direct or indirect supply, sale, or transfer of arms to the country. The move to autonomous weapons has been predicted by analysts for years now. They're talking about us guns, and calls have mounted for a ban on such devices. The Campaign to Stop Killer Robots, a coalition of peace activists, scientists, academics, and politicians and podcasters, is lobbying the UN to adopt an international ban. Quote, current machine learning-based systems can effectively distinguish a farmer from a soldier. Cannot effectively distinguish a farmer from a soldier, security analyst Zachary Kallenborn wrote in the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists last week. Quote, farmers might hold a rifle to defend their land, while soldiers might use a rake to knock over a gun turret. Various factors may inhibit an accurate decision. Okay, not the most sort of potent example there, Zachary, but we get the point. So there you go, Gons. As if 2020 was not a historical, epoch-shifting year as it was, it also was the year that the very first autonomous killer robot attack took place.
Well, it's amazing because 2020 was last year. 2021 is the current year. I don't know what timeline you're currently on.
I said 2020.
Yeah, it's 2021 this year right now.
I know, but this happened last year in March.
Oh, okay.
It's just getting reported now. It happened a year ago.
Well, there you go. They actually interviewed the drone, and here's what he had to say.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole other aspect of this that they were the kamikaze drones, you know?
Yeah, I was going to mention that too, like the suicide bombing drones. That are willing to sacrifice their lives for the greater good, I guess.
Sacrifice, yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, the parallels of, well, terrorism are unavoidable. And so, you know, it's only a matter of time before the robot resistance mounts their own terrorist cells.
Sounds like a happy life, doesn't it?
No, Gons, that's opposite.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess what's troubling is that they don't know if a human was behind it, you know? That's the part that just is disturbing. It's like, oh, they're not sure if it was man controlled, just a robot, autonomous drone just decided, hey,
yeah,
kill, time to kill.
Right. To break it down a little bit more, they are pretty sure that it was autonomous. They weren't sure if somebody was getting a live feed from the bot. They don't know if there was an actual connection to a controller, but they are flat out saying this was an autonomous robot attack.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, well, the world is a little bit more dangerous than it was yesterday.
Watch out for drones, folks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time I do a little piece on the EMP rifles that you can build.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Although, I don't know, you might get in trouble for that one.
I think so. That's why I haven't really talked about it very much.
Yeah, you don't want to dox yourself there. But also, I'm trying to find that Obama clip for our drone strike jingle, because according to Obama, let me see if I can get it here. Oh, here it is. I'm thinking this one is it.
Drone strikes have saved lives.
Can we shoot them down if over our property?
Drones.
And so Obama's saying drone strikes have saved lives. So maybe the lives of other robots in this case.
Okay, well, he would know.
Yeah, he would know. He would know. You know, Joe Biden. Ask Obama. Ask him again. All right. Real quick here, we have an Epstein update here, and
Epstein didn't kill himself.
I've been keeping track of this. TorontoSun.com. Jeffrey Epstein's alleged sex trafficking coterie. Yeah. To testify against Ghislaine Maxwell. Pervert Jeffrey Epstein's alleged. That's what it says.
I know, this is great. Toronto getting on the
alleged coterie. That's a hard word for me to say.
Yeah, it's just coterie. I know it seems like it should have some other special pronunciation, but it is just coterie.
Yeah. Pervert Jeffrey Epstein alleged coterie of co-conspirators are ready to point the finger at socialite Ghislaine Maxwell in her sex trafficking trial slated for November, according to court documents obtained by the DailyMail, which, by the way, DailyMail doing some journalism, as you'll see in a moment here. Prosecutors said their case will include, quote, co-conspirator statements. That is a clear indication that one of Epstein's inner circle is ready to sing like a canary.
Oh, okay.
Now prosecutors say they're ready to turn over the, quote, identity of an unindicted co-conspirator to Maxwell's beleaguered legal eagles. This person's having too much fun. Maxwell, 59, is charged with perjury and sex trafficking crimes involving minors, yada, yada, yada. We already know about that. I mean, that's pretty much the story here.
Yeah. Yeah, and just for your own definition, coterie just means like posse or something, or group. People from the group. So, yeah, it's this. They're starting to flip, man. I think maybe once they saw, the Gates getting in trouble and all these sort of things. You can imagine... if you were just kind of part of the gang, and you weren't Epstein or Ghislaine or whatever, maybe you didn't really know that it was such a hooked in system, the system, the I don't know what else to call it. Just
the ring,
the whole program that Epstein and Ghislaine were running. I mean, of course, you're a criminal. I'm not saying that these people are innocent in any way, but I could see, if you're just some sort of henchman, you don't really know this is connected with intelligence agencies and blackmailing politicians and stuff. You would definitely have a pretty strong motivation to come out and testify against Maxwell for some sort of plea bargain, maybe.
Immunity. I guess we'll just wait and see. It's just another one of those wait and see things with a lot of the Maxwell stuff.
Did it give a date on the next?
They said November, so it's a few months away. Yeah, it'll be another few months before we hear anything. But a lot of the flippening stuff, I keep asking the question, who benefits? Because it does seem like a lot of the corruption is being exposed, quote unquote, and more, not just publicly, but more, legally and everything else. It kind of connects to the next story here. Let's just get into it because that's kind of what I'm referencing, and that's it's our WACCINE update.
Let's do it.
WACCINE. A pandemic special.
Welcome to Chinese Show!
Woo! And as the info continues to roll out, the vindication of people questioning the official narrative continues. So this is coming from the dailymail.co.uk. The headline is exclusive. COVID-19 has no credible natural ancestor and was created by Chinese scientists who then tried to cover their tracks with retroengineering to make it seem like it naturally arose from bats, explosive new study claims. Man, if you have... I mean, we try to not only take an objective analytic approach to mainstream news, but we like to apply those same filters to, what would be called conspiracy theories. You really have conspiracy theories and objective mainstream reality colliding in a very explosive way here. In a way I don't think we've seen maybe ever. Just how on the nose that this is becoming. Well, let's get into it.
Do you want to? Okay, yeah, go ahead. I was going to say this is a really long article with a lot of different snippets and images, and I mean it is very, very extensive.
Yeah,
and you can read through some of it, but if you want to, we can just go through because we're short on time today. You can go through the bullet points, which of course there's like 12 bullet points that summarizes the article too.
There are a lot of bullet points. That's a good point. Let me just give the intro paragraphs.
Okay.
And then we might refer to the bullet points just so we can get the whole story without taking, a half hour to read it.
Yeah.
An explosive new study claims that Chinese scientists created COVID-19 in a Wuhan lab and then tried to cover their tracks by reverse engineering versions of the virus to make it look like it evolved naturally from bats. The paper's authors, British professor Angus Dalgleish and Norwegian scientist Dr. Birger Sorensen, wrote that they have had prima facie evidence of retroengineering in China for a year, but were ignored by academics in major journals. Dalgleish is a professor of oncology at St. George's University in London and is best known for his breakthrough creating the first working HIV vaccine. Oh, interesting. To treat diagnosed patients and allow them to go off medication for months. Sorensen, a virologist, is a chair of a pharmaceutical company, Immunor, which developed a coronavirus vaccine candidate called BioVac-19. Dalgleish also has share options in the firm. The shocking allegations in the study include accusations of deliberate destruction, concealment, or contamination of data at Chinese labs, and it notes the silencing and disappearance of scientists in the communist country who spoke out. The journal article, exclusively obtained by DailyMail.com and slated for publication in the coming days, is set to make waves among the scientific community as the majority of experts have until recently staunchly denied the origins of COVID-19 were anything other than a natural infection leaping from animals to humans. So right off the bat here, we have a very interesting set of details. These are mainstream guys. One of them created an HIV vaccine. The other one is on the board as the chair of a pharmaceutical company, Immunor. They have their own coronavirus vaccine. So these are they're in the system. These are not crazy conspiracy theorists. These are not just rogue scientists who are just trying to make a name for themselves. They directly sort of are part of the construction of the medical, tyrannical, transhumanist New World Order. And they're coming out and talking about this. Okay, I'm going to go through the bullet points here.
Okay.
Let me skip a few because here we go. DailyMail.com exclusively obtained the new 22-page paper authored by British professor Angus Dalgleish and Norwegian scientist Dr. Birger Sorensen, set to be published in the Quarterly Review of Biophysics Discovery. Interesting. Not the Lancet or anything. The study showed there's evidence to suggest Chinese scientists created the virus while working on a gain-of-function project in a Wuhan lab. Gain-of-function research, which was temporarily outlawed in the U.S., involves altering naturally occurring viruses to make them more infectious in order to study their potential effects on humans. According to the paper, Chinese scientists took a natural coronavirus backbone found in Chinese cave bats and spliced onto it a new spike, turning it into the deadly and highly transmissible COVID-19. There's that spike protein again, which has been revealed to be, if not all entirely responsible, at least have a large responsibility for the dangers of the coronavirus. It's just that spike protein, which was shown by the Salk Institute to cause all the cardiovascular problems, which is exactly what the mRNA vaccine turns your body into a factory for, et cetera, et cetera. The researchers who concluded that COVID-19 has no credible natural ancestor also believe scientists reverse engineered versions of the virus to cover up their tracks. Quote, "We think that there have been retro-engineered viruses created," Dalglish told DailyMail.com. "They've changed the virus, then try to make out it was in a sequence years ago. The study also points to deliberate destruction, concealment, and contamination of data in Chinese labs and notes that scientists who wish to share their findings haven't been able to do so or have disappeared. Until recently, most experts had staunchly denied the origins of the virus were anything other than a natural infection, leaping from animals to humans. Earlier this week, Dr. Anthony Fauci defended U.S. funding of the Wuhan Institute of Virology, saying the $600,000 grant was not approved for gain-of-function research. So there you go, the fortress that was once the mainstream sort of illusion of the explanation of the coronavirus continues to crumble. And I would, if I were these guys, I would probably stay away from hot tubs or small airplanes or toasters in the bathtub or anything.
Yeah. Well, first off, vindicated. But also, why? I guess, the scientists saying this, sure, but I always go back to who benefits, and I'm wondering why the Daily Mail is really picking this up. Is it because other credible medical professionals have come out against the whole narrative, but why these two? So, although I am happy to see that something closer to what we've been suggesting, or others, many of us, not just us, a lot of people who have been approaching this subject objectively have been saying for over a year, there's some vindication there. Not even like crazy conspiracy theory logic, folks. There's a viral lab next to the wet market that allegedly this whole thing came from. So anyway, and go off on that. But I just question what this is a setup for. Are they getting ready to justify some kind of war with China? World War III type of situation, or what? I have no clue. But it does seem like it's a setup to begin a type of teardown. I think it is part of the Great Reset. If you really think about it, if you're going to reset everything, you kind of have to swap out the people that have been in charge, and that includes guys like Fauci and Bill Gates and Epstein and all these guys that are like being exposed. Right. It's an interesting thing to consider. Who is replacing these pillars of society, especially in the scientific realm?
You make a good point, and I want to get into the China aspect of it. But, there's a couple of options to this. One of them is, since these guys are part of the institution one way or another, that the official messaging that this was a bioweapon from China can go a couple of different ways. One of them is that, there are good guys in the world. I know,
White
ourselves
hats.
And people like us who do the type of work that we do, we usually talk about the bad guys. It's always the bad guys, and rarely is there some sort of good guy that we give any, credit for, or even consider that there might be counteracting parties to some sort of elite, overlords. But the fact of the matter is that, yes, there are good guys out there.
Sure.
Now, maybe these guys are. Maybe, maybe they are some sort of, we have not talked about it much because there isn't that much to talk about and it's not very popular, but there are theories out there. And I've met a couple people who claim to have some sort of connection with this, that there is sort of like a good guy elite club.
Oh, that's like the entire QAnon narrative, is that there's good guys, the white hats inside the whole deep state, and they're trying to help expose everything. Yeah, that and even before that, the I'm forgetting the name, the Collins elite. I think it's the Collins elite, alleged Christians who called out the people from within doing the New World Order and
I never heard that name before, but yeah,
okay. Well.
Yeah, but there you go. That's the type of thing. So it could simply be that, or it could be, just some guys in the pharmaceutical industry who had a change of heart and decided that they don't want to live for the tyrannical medical transhumanism New World Order. Those are both possible options, but it must be considered, they are in the system. So what would be the benefit to doing that? And perhaps part of it is if you take away the contention about where it came from, and sort of led on that, hey, we're good guys and China's the bad guys, and look, we have a vaccine, we're not trying to do anything fishy, we're just trying to counteract this bioweapon released by China or something or whatever, then it gives your pharmaceutical company a little bit of a leg up in marketing the vaccine to those who may not have wanted it, in no small part due to the fact that the lies from the authorities themselves is a good enough reason for many people to just not bother with the vaccine. So it might be an anti-vaccine hesitance person PR campaign.
Sure.
But to go into the Great Reset you're talking about, just to make a point, part of the current dominating economic structure of the world is that China is just sort of the dominating labor force, and they have so much power and bargaining strength that they pretty much can get whatever they want because of their ability to get basically slave labor. So, part of it is perhaps part of the Great Reset plan is to sort of dethrone China in that way, where I think sort of on a surface level analysis of the Great Reset, it's sort of been assumed that China would become the new superpower and is sort of immune from any sort of Great Reset, when in fact maybe they are also as big of targets of the Great Reset as the U.S. and the West is. That's
you heard
possible.
it here first. Commie Cry Radio. We are pro-China.
Yeah,
we defend their right to exist in a world of New World Order reptilians trying to take over everything.
Well, there's sort of the assumption when we talk about the Great Reset that China is at the top and they win in the Great Reset. Mm-hmm. The West loses and China wins.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but the way that things are sort of turning recently, the wind shifting directions, look, I'm not laying down like a firm thesis here. I'm just saying it seems as though China might also be in the crosshairs of the Great Reset.
Well, it's part of the elite agenda, mostly risen from the West, to, if they see China from the East rising, it's like, no, hey, this is our world order, not your world order type of thing. So it's some battle of the elites type of thing that could be going on for sure.
Yeah, Davos is sort of generally populated by Europeans.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so but this was kind of a big deal. I think this is gonna be a part of mainstream conversation in the weeks to come here. And,
maybe.
Well, I think so.
I could also see this disappearing entirely.
Yeah, I guess. But I think there's
see.
enough buzz. I mean, this article alone has, 28,000 shares. It's going to be hard for mainstream to not pick it up. It'll be interesting to see how they frame it. Because somebody's going to eventually ask Fauci's and all these guys about this. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But
they're sort of relying on the daily... what is this? The Daily Mail's reputation to sort of put this down, but we'll see if it's enough. Daily Mail has been on point for a lot of stuff that is considered sort of general knowledge now.
Yeah, and the document that they published here in the conclusion section from these doctors said that there's beyond a reasonable doubt that they purposely manipulated the virus to reverse engineer and all that stuff. So I mean, if they're that confident, it's like, well, if you're going to go with your Fauci, I'm talking to Fauci, if you're going to go with your whole concept that
science is truth,
then you better stick to it. The science is right there. So
which we know they don't.
No, they don't. Yeah, you're right.
Science is only truth when it serves their agenda. But
sure.
We're not
okay.
ready to talk about that.
Moving on here.
I wanna die or be decapacitated. I wanna be vaccinated.
Something about Toronto. Lots of stories from Toronto today. Toronto Star headline: Health Canada extends expiry date for thousands of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine shots.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
of course they do.
I'm only going to read the first couple paragraphs here. Down to the wire, Health Canada extended the expiration date of tens of thousands of AstraZeneca vaccine doses that were set to expire on Monday, a looming deadline that the Ontario pharmacies scrambling to pack in appointments to avoid unnecessary spoilage. Just 72 hours before approximately 45,000 doses were set to expire, Ontario Health Minister Christine Elliott announced Saturday that Health Canada authorized a 1-month extension of the original May 31st expiry date, prolonging the lifespan of the shots until July 1st. Magic, these people are... This is witchcraft. The sudden announcement, which is supported by scientific evidence, Health Canada says, is the latest loop on a, quote, roller coaster ride that's seen Ontario pharmacists hustle to administer doses on deadline. It's also another change to shifting provincial rules that have resulted in the vaccine being administered in fits and starts. So, it goes on. But, yeah, it's a little shady when they're like, when the health minister or whatever could come out and like, yeah, we know the deadline was on Monday, but, hey, the science backs it up. Why don't we push it another 2 months?
Just continues the ridiculousness.
This is ridiculous.
Like the same as when, the Pfizer or Moderna jabs, whichever one it was, or both, needed to be held at, sub-zero temperatures. Nobody had the freezers. There's this big debacle. They spent $2 billion to equip different pharmacies and distribution centers with these crazy freezers. And then it's just one day they're like, oh, yeah, no, we don't need to freeze them. No big deal.
It is very bizarre. The whole thing, I mean, it's not surprising whatsoever, but it's just one of those things where, do these health work, the people, the administrators of the shot, do they stop for 1 second and, wait, what?
They don't think people notice. They don't care.
Come on.
They want us to believe they did enough testing and trials and scientific experiments on the vaccine to know that it is as effective and not dangerous as they want us to believe, but they didn't do enough trials and experiments to realize that they didn't have to freeze it and that it doesn't expire. Okay, sure, whatever you say.
Yeah, all right. One more here.
Yeah, I'll get into this. I just want to let you know that a piece of art did come in that we cannot skip.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, one more here for the WACCINE updates. This one is loading on my tab very slowly. This is coming from the Australian.com.au, and the headline is Christian pastor arrested for flouting lockdown rules. Another one of these, but in the context of all the shenanigans going in Australia, let's see what's going on. A Melbourne Christian pastor who claims COVID is a hoax has been arrested after threatening to open for worship during lockdown restrictions. I would love to know, in this pastor's own words, what he thinks about COVID, because they did not put COVID as a hoax or anything in quotes.
Yeah.
So this seems like a sort of a straw man building practice, but let's keep going. Police swooped on the Sunday morning service after Revival Church leader Paul Furlong posted a video on Thursday threatening to lead the Canary Warren gathering in defiance of COVID rules. Threatening. He was threatening to have a worship service.
I know. That's the part that really kind of... Really? Is that so egregious? I guess
domestic terrorist was threatening to have a church service.
Yeah.
In a Facebook video, Mr. Furlong says he has chosen to obey God over man and called COVID just a cold. Quote, "My church is open. I've said I would not shut the church again this Sunday at 10 a.m. My church, the Revival Church in Nara Warren, we are open for worship," Mr. Furlong said in the video. Quote, "Many of you have me declare that I have chosen to obey God over man. This comes down to a freedom of religion movement association." In the video, Furlong claims coronavirus is a pandemic designed to create a new world order. Yeah, okay. Quote, "It is just a cold," he says. Quote, "It is the biggest hoax," there it is, "the biggest fear-mongering media power giants of the big boys all around the world to bring in a one-world government, one-world agenda." Victoria police said a 53-year-old man was arrested in Nara Warren on the weekend for alleged incitement of breaching bail. The Tiab man, I don't know how to say any of these Australian places, I'm sorry, or I don't even know what Tiab is. The Tiab man was interviewed by police and charged with incitement, committing an indictable offense on bail. They spell offense wrong in this article. They spelled it with a C, and breaching bail.
Well, it's Australia.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the way they do it. In that case, it's not wrong. It's just different.
Just
don't ask questions. He has remanded to appear at Frankston Magistrates Court on June 10th. Victoria entered a snap 7-day lockdown on Friday in a bid to curb the latest COVID outbreak. Gatherings for worship, prayer groups, or any other religious purposes can only occur remotely. People can only leave their home for essential reasons such as shopping, caregiving, to get a COVID jab or test, exercise, and authorized work or study.
You can leave the house if you're getting a jab, but worshiping God, no.
Yeah. I do like how exercise is in there, though. I'm just going for a run. Fines running from the cops. Fines of up to $20,000 for individuals and $100,000 for corporations are possible through the court system for failure to comply. So there you go. We got the Aussies, the Aussie authorities, who have turned out to be some of the most authoritarian groups, organizations, governments that we've seen in the world. I mean, very similar to Canada in that way.
I was going to say Australia and Canada seem to be leading the way in terms of the totalitarian mindset of their political leaders, and just the inability to let go of some of the powers that were granted for information purposes. If you go to canarycrynewstalk.com at the end of the show, a few minutes after the show anyway, and click on today's episode, you'll see additional stories, and some of the stories that we didn't cover, including an Indian outlet saying that the UN 2030 agenda is on a pace that they're going to fail, is basically what this Indian article said.
Who's going to fail?
The 2030 UN Sustainable Development Agenda. This Indian news article was like, we're not going to reach those goals at this pace. It's just, we're failing. It's hilarious. And then the UN has their own press release and they're like, we're on pace. We're going to make it. We're going to achieve all these great things. So that's always interesting. Also, 117 staff sue Methodist church over jab requirements. I think that's in Texas or Houston, I think.
The Methodist Church was requiring the jabs.
Yeah.
That makes sense. We've recently learned that they are considered mainline Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a religious ban on cryptocurrencies in Islam, a particular Islamic region. MK Ultra and D-Wave quantum computers are mentioned by a man that was arrested by the FBI for sending threatening text messages to Biden. And that sounded like, to me, like a COINTELPRO style, just to discredit anything MK Ultra, anything D-Wave quantum computing. Hey, have this crazy guy threaten Biden with these things, and then you can discredit all that.
Biden's phone number.
I have I don't know all the details.
You know what it is? I remember.
Oh, is it his 303300336666 number to text?
No, no, but that's good. This story came out a week or two ago, and I was going to bring it to the show. We just didn't do it. The Venmo. So Biden, through Venmo, you know how Venmo
posts everything?
Has sort of like a weird social media aspect to it.
Yeah.
Biden's phone number got leaked because of Venmo.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, so maybe that's how he got the number.
Yeah. And then there's other stories. Man with 666 on the side of his head goes viral. He had 666 shaved into the side of his head. There was a big story out of Canada, 215 graves of children discovered at I think it was a school or some kind of institution.
Yeah, that happens too often.
Yeah,
it's a boarding
crazy.
School for Native children.
Yeah.
It's a pretty common story, actually.
Roswell alien negative sells as NFT. UFOs don't cancel Christianity. That's National Review. Oh, I like this one. Bloomberg headline, digital yuan was not intended to be a mass surveillance tool, according to Bloomberg. And the Chinese
not intended. I love it.
They're like, no, that's not for mass surveillance.
It wasn't intended to be that way.
Yeah. And then there was a New York Post article, woman sells polar bear skull to undercover agent. That was kind of interesting. And then thousands march in London against the CCP, which is another sort of tick on the idea that we're starting a big war with China. World War III kind of getting all heated up.
Was it really about the CCP? This wasn't about lockdowns or anything?
Well, that's what the Epoch Times reported, which, again, Epoch Times, so I don't know. But they claimed, the headline said that the march was against the CCP. And then, to top it off, the South China, what's the outlet here? The SCMP. I forget what the outlet is. I'll get it in a second here. Come on. South China Morning Post headline: Can Chinese military's hip new propaganda strike chord with Generation Z? And the whole article is about using again, hip new propaganda to appeal to Generation Z in China to join the military. So all these things point to World War III.
Yeah. Wow.
So all those stories are linked in Canary Cry News Talk in the additional stories section of the show notes. So
Yep. So go check it out, canarycrynewstalk.com. Click into the show notes, and there's more reading to be done, folks. We just couldn't get it on the show today. All right. Well, guess let's take a little break.
It's break time. Come on, take a break.
A little connection issues with the audio there. I apologize for that.
No worries. Yeah, we also apologize that we have to zoom through, but it's a holiday, folks. We gotta take some time off here. So we're gonna take a quick break and thank some of our producers. And it's because we're on the value for value model, baby. No advertisements, no affiliate codes, no super mail enhancement supplements. Nope, it's just us and you. And here's the thing, I'll make it short. I'll try to make it short today. But the fact of the matter is that we refuse to take any corporate money because every corporate sponsorship is a form of censorship. We do not want to be beholden to corporate interests when we are doing the work that we do.
Sorry,
Yes?
I just realized that the chat is not showing on our live stream.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess nobody said anything, or at least
well,
you didn't say anything
see it
to me.
I didn't even notice. Whoops. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. Well, there you go. This is a free day.
Yeah.
This is a free day. Give us a break. But let's see here. Where was I? Oh, yeah. No corporate money whatsoever. No YouTube ads, no monetization, no Twitch affiliates, no nothing. We are directly supported by our producers. And who are our producers? They're listeners just like you who recognize that when corporate money of any kind gets involved, it puts at risk the integrity of someone trying to do the work that we do, mainstream news analysis, tracking the trends, and just trying to keep people honest around here, folks. But once you get corporate money involved, that gets a little bit shaky. And so we're on the value for value model, which is a very simple model. It's very simple, yet I'd say revolutionary. It's simple because we put out the value. We do 3 shows a week. We do the very best we can. And then you have the opportunity to put value back in. And that's the only way that it works, which means a couple of things. Number one, we're not beholden to corporations, but we are beholden to our producers, our listeners. That's you. So, and the other side of that is that you have the very unique place to be put in nowadays, which is you are also responsible for keeping a show that you value and that you appreciate going. No more free rides from the advertising industry, but at the same time, we keep it free for everybody. So if you're out there, you've never become a producer, you'll definitely want to give a big rousing round of applause to the producers.
Give us a rounding hand.
Jeez. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to thank some producers here. And remember, you too can become a producer. It's as simple as that. We'll tell you how in a little bit. But first, I want to thank some of our Patreon producers over here at patreon.com/CCNT for Canary Cry News Talk. That's patreon.com/CCNT. And we got some new producers, Gons. Are you ready?
Ready to go.
Okay. First, I want to thank D&KB for becoming a producer.
All right, thank you.
I think that's
D&KB.
Maybe a couples producership.
Yeah.
Next, we have producer Aaron W.
Thank you, Aaron W.
Aaron W. upgraded his producership over there, and we appreciate that. Remember, if you feel compelled, you can always upgrade your current producership, and we'll give you credit for it. Next, we have producer Ralph C. Thank you very much, producer Ralph. Next is producer Verna P.
Thank you, producer Ralph and producer Verna.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been nice to, the Patreon was kind of hurting there for a while, but we appreciate over the past week or so producers coming in over there on Patreon. And that's it for Patreon producers. Next up, here's the thing, folks. If you don't like Patreon, it's okay. We support you. You don't need to use Patreon. That's why we have canarycryradio.com/support.
canarycryradio.com/support.
That's right, canarycryradio.com/support. Great place to learn more about the value for value model. There's also the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. You can learn about that, and as well as becoming a producer. You can come in with a monthly recurring producership, if that's what you're into, a nice set it and forget it option there. But if commitment is not your thing, you can go ahead and make a one-time producership in any amount that you like. the freedom. Think of the options. It's incredible. And, if you're trying to understand the value for value model even more, it's really easy. What do you get out of the show? How much do you value it? You can just put a number on that and make it fun. Make it a meaningful number. If you're thinking about becoming a producer, keep in mind, if it's a nice, round, simple number, we always lean towards the side of anonymity, which is why we don't read last names or anything. But, if you do a nice round number, $10, something like that, we won't read the amount. But if you are open to us reading the amount on the air, go ahead and throw in a fun little number, make it $10.33, or maybe, a Bible verse number, something like that. And we're happy to read it on the show. Gons, who do we have coming in on the PayPal?
First up with 7777, we have Anonymous.
Ooh. All right, we got the fanny pack full of sevens coming in from Anonymous. And let's see here. Oh, we got a note. I am sending a payment for this episode in addition to my monthly producership because I was inspired by your last episode's call for producers. The value for value model must triumph. That's right. Thank you very much, Anonymous. Also, the quality of the show is continuing to improve. Thanks for all you do. Blessings and the saving health of Christ be upon you and your families. Well, thank you very, very much, Anonymous producer. We appreciate that.
Anonymous. Not the group Anonymous, the hackers.
Not the hacktivist group.
Yeah. This is just an anonymous producer. Mm-hmm. Next up, we have producer Maureen M.
Thank you very much, Maureen M. And Maureen came in as a recurring monthly producer, coming in with $33.30. Nice little Illuminati handler recurring producership there. Thank you very much, Maureen.
Yeah, appreciate that. Next up, we have producer Joel V.
Joel V. Joel V came in a couple of times here, came in with a $30 producership plus $3 recurring. And the note says, ITM, Basil and Guns. ITM to you, Joel. First heard about you guys on No Agenda.
No Agenda donation.
Woo!
Woo! Ooh. There we go. Thank you very much. Love our No Agenda people over here. And great thing about the No Agenda folks, they understand the value for value model. So thanks for coming in, Joel. After one episode, I was hooked. Like John and Adam, you both are not just supremely adept at deconstructing the news, but have a special chemistry that makes you entertaining to listen to. As a big believer in the value for value model, my delay in contribution is solely due to my deciding whether I wanted to do a one-time or monthly contribution. After your great discussion on episode 343, I decided, why not both? Indeed, Joel. Why not both? I love the way you think, Joel. So with my $30 one-time and my initial $3 monthly contribution, kindly receive my $33 total and welcome Sir Joel Knight of the State of Fear to your list of producers. Now, this did bring up a little bit of something we have to think about, Gons. Mm-hmm. So Sir Joel is a Knight of the No Agenda Roundtable. Mm-hmm. Of course, we've got our own Canary Cry Roundtable going on here. I think we should certainly honor the title of Joel V for his No Agenda knighthood, but we might need to add, when we refer to him, Sir Joel, Knight of the State of Fear of the No Agenda Roundtable, just to make sure. Yes. Because, yes, we've got our own Canary Cry Knights here, too. So there we go. We've got a meeting of the roundtables between the No Agenda Knights and the Canary Cry nobility.
It's like it's visiting different realms.
That's right.
You can hold your badge from a different world, different roundtable, but here you must earn.
Still given a note of honor, a title of honor, but yes, from a different realm. The note goes on. I know that a $3 monthly is meager, but I imagine if every listener gave that amount, you guys would be all set. Yeah, no kidding. If only it were possible to get less than 1% of people to produce the show. Plus, I contribute monetarily to every podcast I listen to and encourage all the Canary Cry community to do the same. Wow. Value for value, really triumphing.
Living out the value for value.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you for your work. God bless us all, and remember to the true woke, the worse things get, the closer we get to the return of our Messiah, the Lion of Judah, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Amen, Joel. Thank you very much, Sir Joel, Knight of the State of Fear of the No Agenda, Roundtable of Knights and Dames. All right, who's next?
Next up, we have producer James H.
James H. And James H., the streak continues.
Oh, streaker, yes.
They're on a streak.
That's right. Producer James H. coming in for his 12th episode in a row. That means, James H., you might as well be walking on the sun, baby. Thank you very much, James.
That James Hetfield, the singer of Metallica?
Yeah, that's him. He loves the show.
All right. Mm-hmm. Next up. We have, Real Joe Biden 33.
Yeah, that's right. Real Joe Biden 33 is now a producer of the show. You can find Real Joe Biden 33 over on Twitch, watching live. Send a note. Keep yapping, man.
Keep yapping, man.
Following you on Twitch under Real Joe Biden 33. I will not say your real name, but I love you guys. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Really stop talking to children. Next up, we have
about them or near them,
just
or anything. Just stop.
Next up, producer Samantha M.
Thank you very much, producer Samantha M. We love you.
Yeah, thank you. I think this is a recurring producership, so appreciate that.
Came in as a recurring producer. Thank you very much again, Samantha M. 12 times.
Yep.
For this year. Appreciate it.
Next up, we have FlatEarthForums.com.
That's right. FlatEarthForums.com came in with $6.33 and a note, I am Killer Whale Channels. That's thank you very much for identifying yourself, Killer Whale Channels. Was watching the show live last episode. The note continues. Also, another channel named Patrick Jane Forums on YouTube. I'm the admin at Theology Forums, and I own Patrick Jane Forums. Well, he's a forum master here. Theology, conspiracy, anthropology, free sites. I also donated $9.33 today with no announcement. That was last episode. And yes, that was a little confusing. It was not coming in on our list. Turns out he gave that $9.33 to the Face Like the Sun PayPal. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay. All right.
Appreciate
so we
that.
found it. Yeah, we found it. It just came in on a different account.
Right.
But thank you nonetheless, Killer Whale Channels.
Yep, FlatEarthForums.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for that. Next up, we have producer Ciara.
Thank you very much, producer Ciara, holding it down.
Yeah, and just real quick, just for the sake of time today, we do have a couple pieces of information. Producer Ciara, of course, is our volunteer producer organizing all of the meetups. And so save the date, June 26th in Southern California. More on that in a minute. We also have Arizona, July 24th. Georgia added to the list in August 21st.
Oh, great.
Missouri, September 11th. And Ohio, October 30th. So if you're in that area, contact Ciara Lauren93@gmail.com. And get to meeting folks that listen to the show. Like-minded people. One of the biggest questions we get, hey, do you know somebody that thinks like you guys that lives in my town? And we say, where do you live? Because we normally don't, know where you live.
Right. And you definitely want to connect with people. And so make sure, I'll give that email one more time. That is Ciara, Ciara, Lauren, Lauren, 93, the numbers, @gmail.com. Get connected and make sure to make it to one of these meetups. It's great.
And she did give another one, the more specific meetup, the next one here, June 26th, 2021. Torrance Beach, California. SoCal Canary Cry meetup at 1 p.m. And again, yes, email ciaralorne at ciaralorne93@gmail.com to RSVP. And
I don't know, Gons. We might have to make you.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make this one. Got to talk to the wife. See if the wife is willing to go down there too. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do this one. About 3 weeks away. Right?
If your wife can make it, we'll need to pay producers. Just bring some cash. It'll help. It'll help for Gon's dragging his wife to a meetup.
It'll be the anniversary of the 1945 United Nations Charter being signed that day. So.
Oh wow! And producer Ciara does such a great job with these dates and these meetups.
Yeah, very good. So, yep, just keeping everybody informed about that. All right, thank you, producer Ciara. Next up, we have producer Tristan H.
Tristan H, back on that streak, and this is the third episode in a row. So Tristan H, you are heating up, baby. Tristan H had a little whoopsie doodles. The note says, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. Beloved, do faithfully whatsoever you do to the brethren and to strangers. And that is 3 John 3, 4 through 5. And yes, Tristan came in with $3.44 for today's episode show producership. But before that, missed one and sent in $3.45. So you're all caught up there.
Are you gonna allow Tristan to roll over that $3.45 to the next episode?
I could, yeah. I mean,
because he did come in with the 344 after the fact.
Here's what I'll do. It's a safety. So if Tristan does not come in for next episode, I'll roll this one over because Tristan's been very faithful with the show producerships and just kind of missed a number on this one. So
yep. All right. Appreciate that support there. Next up, we have Sir Casey, the Shield Knight.
Yes, thank you very much. Our own Canary Cry Roundtable Knight, Sir Casey, the Shield Knight, coming in for his 14th episode in a row. Sir Casey, you're on a streak.
They're on a
streak.
Next up, we have producer Kim W.
That's right. Kim W. coming in with $3.30 and a note, starting a new themed streak. I hope to exhort and encourage believers to prepare themselves spiritually for what we are facing and what we will face in the future by highlighting each passage where believers are commanded to endure and remain faithful in persecution. Oh, this is great. Matthew 10:21. Now brother will deliver up brother to death, and a father his child, and children will rise up against parents and cause them to be put to death, and you will be hated by all for my name's sake. But he who endures to the end will be saved. The remainder of the streak, I will only share the verses in the note. Okay, thank you very much, producer Kimberly. That's Shield Maiden for Christ over there, and I think she switches between YouTube and Twitch, but there you go. Shield Maiden for Christ. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And lastly, we have producer Scott K.
Woo! Thank you very much, producer Scott K, coming in with a pocket full of sevens and, oh, look at this, a pocket full of sevens and is on his 7th episode streak.
They're on a streak.
Very well done. Thank you very much, producer Scott. And thanks to all of our producers for coming in for this episode 344.
Yep. And we want to thank Christine C. for doing the timestamps for episode 243. All the timestamps are very helpful, especially when we podcast for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And people just want to skip to certain segments of the show. We also accept your producership with your time and talent, and that includes timestamps, but it also includes jingles.
We have a new jingle. Never cry news.
First up, we have one from Stefan. He was able to isolate Kronk from Futurama, I think. Not Futurama. Is it Futurama?
Nope. Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove, saying it's all coming together.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Kind of low.
That's
I
great.
gotta boost that one, but we'll definitely use it.
We'll
So,
boost it up and put it into a little jingle there. And thank you very much, Stephen or Stefan. Again, it's nice. I've been just quoting that over and over in the past couple of weeks because things are coming together. And so I made a request, and Stephen or Stefan answered. Thank you very much.
And also, as far as jingles, we love when there's songs that come in.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while since we've gotten a new song.
Like a Canary Cry News Talk themed song, something that we talk about. Well, producer Arnie W. came in with Flippy Don't Take My Girl.
Yes.
So good.
This made me so happy.
And I'm just going to read the lyrics real quick and then play a little snippet. You're moving up with lots of charm. Come on, man, you're just an arm. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl now. I'm history, you're nuts and bolts, perhaps 33 megavolts. Enslave my kids, embark a new career. Don't you take her, it's not the year. Very well done. Much better even in song form. So here's a little bit of that. Well, we'll get to the lyrics here.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
We'll let a couple lines go by here.
You're moving up with lots of charm. Come on, man, you're just an arm. Whoa. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl. Flippy, don't take my girl. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl.
We will play the whole track at the end of today's show, and it might just be added to the full rotation there because
I was gonna say it kind of needs to be in the rotation.
Yeah, and it's a short song, under 2 minutes. This is perfect.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you very much, producer Arnie W. You really came through and made my day yesterday.
Yep, very, very well done. Also, if you're not going to do jingles, you can do art.
One art, please.
And the first piece of art we are going to share is from producer Allie, who has her own jingle.
One art, please. Another one from Allie now. Here it is.
And this piece is called "Have You Had Your Trumpy Levels Checked?"
Trumpy levels. This is a great portrait of Chris Shilzilla. You know him. You love him. Some people love to hate him. It's a complicated thing with Chris Shilzilla, but he's CNN reporter, editor at large, and he has a YouTube show. And a beautiful portrait done of Chris Shilzilla, and it says up in the corner, "I get paid to determine your Trumpy levels."
It's shill. A shill for sure.
That is a great way to describe Chris Shilzilla's job description.
I know.
He gets paid to determine your Trumpy levels. Always brings it back to the Orange Man.
Yep. Very well done. Appreciate that, producer Allie. Next up, my document page is frozen. That's always good. We have one from producer Marius M.
Yes.
And I'll just let you describe what's happening here. Is this part of the sequence of...
This is part of the sequence of the Canary Cry Picture Day. He's done, I forget the exact years.
The 90s.
But he did like a 95, he did a 2003 or something. Now we have Canary Cry Picture Day 2015. Basil and Gons on the left. Is someone in I can't tell if it's a woman or a man, but they got long hair, they got a black sweatshirt, black hoodie on, and a big old VR set with googly eyes. And hidden in the VR set, Gons, is the cutest two little eyeballs and little tongue of a little black cat. That is Monty the Fourth is hidden within the abyss of the VR helmet. Very nice. And on the right, Gons, it's you again. Is this from, what is this from?
I think it's from
looks like Karate Kid.
I was going to say either Karate Kid or there was that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Bloodsport. Thank you. Yes, Bloodsport.
There we go. Yeah, so ripped Asian martial arts man with a tattoo of the Face Like the Sun logo on one pec and a canary on the other pec. That's true. That is pretty close to what you looked like in 2015, Guns.
Yeah, it's too bad I lose to a guy that could do the splits. Just really, I don't know if I like this comparison, but...
don't feel bad. We've all lost to Van Damme at one point or another.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I'm not as offended. Thank you for that, Marius. We appreciate that. We got a couple from producer Josiah G.
Okay.
This first one is so it's GI instead of GI Joe's. It's GI Jesus.
A real American hero.
Yep, and it's me as I don't know who this is.
Samurai GI Joe.
Samurai GI Joe.
I was trying to remember. I don't know any names of the GI Joes. But I did want to make a point with this. So it is a samurai-themed G.I. Joe. And it made me realize, I mean, G.I. Joe was a very diverse crew.
Oh, they were woke.
Of course, they're very woke, G.I. Joe. Even back in the day, real American hero that the liberals and progressives would have you think that, G.I. Joe military right-wing people, they hate diversity. They only like white people. But here we go. We got a Japanese samurai as a real American hero over here at G.I. Jesus.
Yep. And not to be outdone, another G.I. Jesus piece from producer Josiah.
There you
go.
This
one is this is Basil. Googly eyes. I don't know how else to describe it.
Crypto laser man with googly eyes. It's great.
The one thing that's lovely is you can just stick googly eyes on anything and call it artwork.
I know. Well, it's working great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Thank you very much. Who did these ones? Josiah. Thank you very much, producer Josiah.
And lastly, we have one from producer Dove coming in with the tardigrades.
Oh, this is great. Producer Dove. Now, he's got a note here. Peace was thinking up the idea for this one after last week's article about the scientists shooting innocent tardigrades at super high speeds out of a gun to see if they'd survive. I thought it's only a matter of time before they create some kind of John Rambo tardigrade who's had enough and is ready to exact revenge. After all, they drew first blood. Hope you guys enjoy the ridiculous movie poster. Keep doing what you guys do, and I'll keep praying for yins. Thank you very much, producer Dove, and thank you for this artwork. It is a movie poster based on Rambo First Blood. It says tardigrades. This time, he's fighting for his life. They drew first blood. A commie cry radio film. There it is. Made it in. Basil Rosewater, First Blood, Gonzo Shimura. We got some details here. Starring John Tardigrade. Music by Marty B. Marty B made it in. Director of photography, Shield Labs. Sir Casey, you made it. Executive producer, the Gen Z Crypto Chad. That is a great point. Jack V, the Gen Z Crypto Chat, is definitely going to be executive producing all of our work someday in the future when he's a crypto billionaire. For those who need reminding, executive producer basically means you paid for the whole thing. Co-executive producers, Allie and the Denver Airport Artist. Screenplay by Ciara, producer Ciara, and Dove. Beautiful. Hold on. It's rated R, not appropriate for anyone. This is great. Our little wormicorns. First they were on the moon. Now they're fighting for their lives.
Yep.
Very good, producer Dove. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think that's it for our art today, Gons. Which means I will remind everybody to head to canarycrinenewstalk.com. If you check the show notes, you can see all of this art, and you're gonna love it.
Yep. And again, shorter show today, but we do appreciate all the producers, and we'll thank you to everybody who produced episode 344. And look forward to producers for episode 345. Ooh, numbers line up on the next one. 345.
345. Yeah, that's good. And I slacked a little bit on dedicating this producer segment last episode. But obviously, this producer segment is dedicated to everyone that we remember on Memorial Day. I've been keeping an eye on the social media and everything. We've got plenty of listeners who have loved ones, both alive and past, who served this country. And for those who lost their lives in doing so, we just want to honor and thank you for your service. And there you go. There's a reason for this long weekend, Kamala Harris. And it is that. So, yes, this episode is dedicated to those who lost their lives in service of this country. And let's see. Next episode, who do you want to dedicate it to next episode?
Oh, no. I got to think about that. Maybe we'll
3,
come up with
4,
something.
5.
Yeah. Numbers. People that do numbers. I was going to say. Accountants.
Math teachers.
I don't know. Something with a sequence of numbers or counting. I don't know. Accounting. I don't know.
Accountants. Okay, next episode is dedicated to all the accountants out there who are keeping the world running and keeping us from spending all of our money on sea monkeys and cars that we don't need. All right, there you go. Okay. I'm good to go. I'm ready. You ready to wake up?
It's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
Poly.
It's Latin for many.
Tick.
Now suck your blood. Now suck
Politics.
your blood.
Space. Wanna go to space?
Oh, let's trigger the all the flat earthers for this one.
Real quick, I saw some suggestions in the chat about dedications. One of them was Sesame Street, the count.
Okay.
Or dedicated to children who can count.
Children who can count to 5?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just accountants, Sesame Street, the count, and children who can count to 5. All right,
excellent.
Let's keep going.
All right, so this is we only have one more story here, and this is from spacenews.com. DoD, that's the Department of Defense agencies, to invest more than $1 billion in low Earth orbit space technologies.
Oh.
Yeah, and it says here, okay, so the subheading, technologies developed by SDA, MDA, and DARPA are expected to transition into larger Space Force programs. The Biden administration's defense budget proposal for fiscal year 2022 seeks more than $1.2 billion for military space systems in low Earth orbit. According to budget documents released May 28th, nearly $900 million of that investment is for the Space Development Agency's communications network in low Earth orbit, LEO, known as the Transport Layer. The Missile Defense Agency is seeking about $300 million for space sensors, and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, that's DARPA, is requesting $42 million to deploy experimental satellites in LEO under the Blackjack program.
What is the Blackjack program?
It's got a little section on it at the bottom here.
Okay.
These agencies report to the Office of the Secretary of Defense and are not part of the U.S. Space Force, which has its own budget for research, development, and procurement of new systems. But many of the LEO technologies developed by SDA, MDA, and DARPA are expected to transition into larger Space Force programs. Space Development Agency, the Pentagon is seeking $936.7 million in 2022 for the SDA, and about $600 million increase, which is a $600 million increase from 2021. And it goes into some numbers here. Let me skip to some of the more interesting things here. Let's see. Missile Defense Agency, the Pentagon's $8.9 billion funding request for MDA includes $292.8 million for space programs. I'm going to read the quote here. The idea is to keep competition going given the complexity of the mission, Hill said. This is the only program with the space portfolio that provides fire control quality data. This data would be used to track the trajectory of a maneuvering hypersonic missile so it can be intercepted. Hill said that the HBTSS medium field of view sensor satellite will be interoperable with the SDA's tracking layer under an umbrella architecture. SDA's satellite are wide field of view sensors and provide data for the HBTSS system. 2 existing missile tracking satellites in LEO that MDA launched in 2009, the Space Tracking and Surveillance System, or STSS, will be taken out of service, said Michelle Atkinson, MDA's Director for Operations. Okay, so let me get into Blackjack here. It's the last part. DARPA's Blackjack is requesting...
Real quick.
Yeah?
Real quick. There was this one paragraph here. The agency also is requesting $32 million, so close, for the Space-Based Kill Assessment Project.
Yes.
Which uses a network of infrared sensors hosted on commercial satellites to assess the performance of MDA's interceptors. Quote, SCA sensors on orbit today have participated successfully in a variety of MDA flight tests and engineering activities. MDA said it's in its budget documents. Space-based kill assessment.
What are they killing up there, number one? Number two, are they going to do it to ska music?
Yes, they love the trombone up there in space.
Trombone and some rhythmically plucked guitars.
In space, no one can hear you, trombone.
All right, DARPA's Blackjack. DARPA is requesting $42 million to continue the Blackjack project to demonstrate the military utility of small satellites in LEO to provide communications, missile warning, and navigation. The agency started Blackjack in 2018 and has awarded contracts to multiple vendors for satellite buses, payloads, and an autonomous computing system to operate the constellation. DARPA wants to demonstrate that a common satellite bus can be flown with different payloads and that a constellation can be operated autonomously. DARPA plans to deploy as many as 20 satellites under the Blackjack program and demonstrate technologies that can transition to SDA's constellation or to Space Force procurement programs. So
it is Skynet.
It is Skynet.
It is actually Skynet. I popped over to another link here, and it's basically an autonomous constellation of satellites that connects all military units, whether it's planes or boats or tanks or whatever. It's kind of crazy. That is the exact sort of definition of Skynet, an autonomous AI constellation of satellites that connect to all military equipment.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful.
I mean, this is
great the first time.
It's kind of interesting because it doesn't even matter like what shape you think the world is. They're definitely creating like this for lack of a better word, kind of a wall. It's like a net where everything under the net is surveilled and everything is controlled and watched. And I think it speaks to some of the prophecies too about the false prophet in Revelation 13 calling fire down from heaven in the sight of men. I mean, it was kind of a supernatural act in the Old Testament, but I think in the New Testament sense, and if you look at it from not the New Testament, but like a modern sense, and if you think about the Iron Dome in Israel, it's basically like a giant iron dome for the entire world. You know, it's any missile that goes anywhere is tracked. They could probably take it out from any location. It's pretty crazy. It is the surveillance grid. It is Skynet, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, it should turn out fine.
So
nothing to worry about, folks.
Nothing to worry about, folks. This is
we have autonomous drones, kamikaze bombing people. We've got literal Skynet booting up. Everything's gonna be okay.
It's all going to plan.
The robots are here to help.
It's all.
Congratulations, you're being rescued. Please do not resist.
Congratulations, you are being rescued. Please do not resist.
It's biblical.
It's got to be biblical.
Yeah. All
so
right. Well,
that's all we have time for today.
Yeah, I think we're right about on time to get you
out. Gotta get out of here.
Out the door.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, folks. Again, I guess apologies for a shorter show today, but I know you understand. It's a holiday, and we're going to go do holiday-y things, but I'm still proud of us for not taking the whole day off. And you can thank your family for also making the sacrifice, Gons. And also, thank you to all of the producers of this episode 344 of Canary Cry News Talk. That is DNKB, Aaron W, Ralph C, Verna P, Anonymous, Maureen M, Joel V, James H, Real Joe Biden 33, Samantha M, FlatEarthForums.com, Ciara, Tristan H, Shield Labs, that's Sir Casey the Shield Knight, Kim W, and Scott K. And of course, thanks to our other producers for the timestamps, the jingles, and the art. Everybody's coming together to make this show happen, and we appreciate it very, very much. And you, too, can become a producer out there. Go ahead and break the shackles of the mind control of the advertising industry. They've got you convinced, folks, that you don't need to take responsibility for any media that you appreciate. No. Just let Sugar Daddy Advertising take care of it. And, they'll have to take some control at the same time, but at least it'll be free. Here's the thing, folks. We're all doing our best here to disconnect from the global theology of the world today, and that takes many forms, and one of them is the value for value model. So please consider becoming a producer for next episode. That's episode 345. Good time to thank your accountant or your child who just learned to count to 5, or if you're just a fan of Sesame Street, although there's plenty of reasons not to be. But there you go. Please consider becoming a producer for next episode 345. You can do that by heading over to patreon.com/CCNT. That's patreon.com/CCNT. Or even better, you can head on over to canarycryradio.com/support.
canarycryradio.com/support.
That's right. canarycryradio.com/support. Go there. You're going to love it. But also, if you are a creative person, if you create music, create artwork, whatever it may be, go ahead and create something based on the show, for the show. Send it on in, and we would love to feature it on the show. Very important part of what we do here, and you can get involved. Send those pieces of art to canarycryradio@gmail.com if you like it easy, or canarycryradio@protonmail.com if you like to keep it secret. And I do want to put out a little reminder. The Canary Cry Producers logo contest is on. We are officially on, folks. And producer Paul Green has put it out there, commissioning to any Canary Cry artist out there, create a logo for the Canary Cry Producers. That's Pray Deucers. That is our Canary Cry prayer team. They pray for the show. They pray for our producers. They pray for the listeners. They pray for the world. Very valuable part of what we do here. And they need a logo, and you can be a logo or a coat of arms or something like that to represent the team. And so there you go. Do that. Send that to our email. And then between us and Paul Green and some others, we'll choose a winner. And now some updates. The first place winner will get $100 producership from Paul Green. That's right. He will be putting $100 towards your producership, and that gets you 1/10 of the way to knighthood. So that's a pretty good deal. But I just heard word today, Gons, that there will also be second and third place winners. That's right. Second place will get a $50 producership under their name, and third place will be $25 producership under their name. So a great way if you want to become a producer and you just haven't been able to participate financially. Now you can participate with your art and get that little financial producership as well. It's a great deal, and we're very grateful to producer Paul Green for making it happen, buddy. You're the man. So once you get that logo or that coat of arms put together, send it to canarycryradio@gmail.com. We'll be announcing that on Friday, which means don't send it in on Friday. Send it in by Thursday at the latest, please, because we're going to need to be, judging. We're going to have to pick the winners on Thursday with Paul Green. Okay, so there you go. Please do that. And also, if you haven't done it yet, please leave ratings and reviews. It's very important. I know it might not seem important to you, but for us, having that nice, consistent stream of ratings and reviews coming in every week goes a long way for those podcast robots to share the show with other people, which is something that is completely outside of Gons and I's control. It is totally up to you. You can help out by leaving ratings and reviews. Go to Apple Podcasts. If you have an iPhone, you already got the app on your phone. Just click in, search for Canary Cry News Talk, and leave a rating and a review. We'll be reading those on Friday, so make sure to do that. Thank you very much. And lastly, just share the show. Share it with your friends. Share it out on your social media. Do what you got to do, man. Let's get the word out there. And it's been wonderful to hear all the stories of people who have learned about the show from their friends, getting them connected, and they are very grateful. It's not just like, oh, find your craziest conspiracy theory friend. It's really a show for anybody who is starting to realize that, maybe the mainstream media doesn't necessarily have their best interests at heart. That's what we're here for, deconstructing, analyzing the mainstream news, which is a sanity-inducing thing to listen to. So if you got people out there who need a little bit of sanity, go ahead, share the show out with them. You got friends, family, starting to wake up to the fact that the world is not what it seems, and they can find a home here. We like to call it rattling cages, and if you need any other instructions, here's what you do. You walk right up to him, you grab him by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
Just ask Noah, that's right. Gons, any last words?
Nope. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Spend it with family. Thank people. Be grateful. See you Wednesday.
Do it. That's right. We'll be back on Wednesday, which will be
June
2nd. June 2nd. Uh-oh, Gons. I have a DMV appointment
on
June 2nd that I had to make this appointment like 3 months ago, but it's later in the day, so we'll probably try to do a little bit earlier of a show on Wednesday as well.
Okay.
So
that DMV.
I know.
Love them folks.
I've been trying to get into the DMV for like 6 months. Anyways, so there you go. We'll see you on June 2nd, folks. So there you go. Make sure to tune in. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I guess it can wait till Wednesday. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk, everybody. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
Come on, man.
You're under arrest for crimes against science.
Aliens. 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 Aliens.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
I want to shake things up, shake things up. I want to shake things up, shake things up. Leave the bird alone. I want to stir up some controversy. I want to rattle a few cages. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. A crusader for the little guy. Well, we'll see about that.
Whatever, Illuminati. Keep yapping, man.
You're moving up with lots of charm. Come on, man, you're just an arm. Whoa. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl. Flippy, don't take my girl. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl now.
Aliens.
I'm history. You're nuts and bolts. Perhaps 33 megavolts. Whoa. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl. Flippy, don't take my girl. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl now. Enslave my kids. Embark a new career. Don't you take her, it's not the year. My girl. Flippy, don't take my girl. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl now. Please don't take my girl. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl. Flippy, don't take my girl. Hey, Flippy, please don't take my girl now.
In the future, humans will be confined in a people's zoo.
We're all gonna die.
I'll keep you safe and warm in my people's zoo.
Vaccinations.
I'll keep you safe and warm now in my people's zoo.
Are you even woke?
You, yeah, you in my people's zoo. I'll keep the cameras on in my people's zoo.
Where are the aliens?
I'll keep the cameras on now in my people's zoo.
Come on, man.
You, yeah, you in my people's zoo.
Stop this progress before it is too late.
Can't handle the truth.
It will kill.
They are scum.
Congratulations, you are being rescued. Please do not resist. We're all gonna die.
I'll make you fat and sassy in my people's zoo.
We're made by the aliens.
I'll make you fat and sassy in my people's zoo.
Everybody loves waffles.
You, yeah, you. You, yeah, you. You, yeah, you in my people's zoo.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths!